How good is Apple Watch for AFib detection?
So the Apple Heart study, almost had 400,000 patients, and they looked at, and these patients never had AFib. So these are patients who have not been diagnosed. And I think 2,000 of these patients were found to have an abnormal rhythm detected by the Apple Watch. This is the first study. And then those patients did the formal testing, with the 12-lead electrocardiogram or monitors. The sensitivity, specificity, or the chances of how good this Apple Watch was all of us above 90%. So the Apple Watch actually is pretty good. And to the point that now, you won't believe this, obviously it's designed or is approved to detect atrial fibrillation. But I have few patients who have seen they're having palpitations. They put their watch on. They did the 30-second EKG, and you believe it or not, I have discovered patients with what we call ventricular tachycardia, one of the most deadly rhythm. So I have happened to have few patients who are actually giving us diagnosis.
So just to clarify, ventricular tachycardia is a very serious rhythm. You can live with AFib for a long time. With ventricular tachycardia, usually it's an emergency.
Correct. Yeah, that's a total. Anything which is happening to the bottom chambers is taken more seriously. Even AFib is serious, but AFib doesn't has imminent what we call cardiac arrest or risk of death. But what happens with AFib is either you end up developing a stroke, then you have disability, pneumonia, and so on and so forth, or you develop heart failure. And if you don't manage the heart failure, eventually the pump will fail and you'll die from it.